A black guy in New York realizes he lost his passport. Bad timing, too, because he's flying to Miami that day. Just as he's freaking out, he spots a passport on the ground. He picks it up, flips it open, and it says Leonardo DiCaprio. Desperate, he shrugs. Screw it, let's see if this works. He rips out Leo's photo, slaps his own in, and heads to the airport. At TSA, Officer Billy Joe takes the passport, looks at the name, Leonardo DiCaprio. Then he looks at the guy, a black man. Back at the passport, back at the guy. He squints, leans over to his co-worker, and whispers, "Hey, Carl, remind me, did the Titanic sink or catch fire?"
I was rushing to an important business meeting when I saw him. An old homeless man sitting by the corner, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Not asking for money, just need someone to talk to." I don't know why, but something made me stop. I had 10 minutes before my meeting, so I knelt down and said, "All right, let's talk." He smiled and said, "Tell me, young man, what's the biggest problem in your life right now?" I hesitated but then admitted, "I'm trying to close a big deal, but I don't think I'm good enough. The investors might reject me." The old man chuckled. "Let me tell you something. Years ago, I had a business, a good one, but I let fear stop me from taking a risk. I had the chance to expand, but I played it safe. Guess what happened? I stayed silent. Someone else took the chance I didn't, and now their company is worth millions. I lost everything." His words hit me hard. He continued, "Fear is a liar, son. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will. You think those investors are better than you? They're just people who took risks. Now go, and don't let fear make you end up like me." I ran to my meeting, and for the first time I spoke with confidence. That deal, I closed it. Months later, I returned to that same street corner to thank him. But he was gone. Fear is the enemy of success. If you let it control you, you might miss out on life-changing opportunities.
A man playing on a new golf course got confused as to what hole he was on. He saw a lady playing ahead of him, so he walked up to her and asked if she knew what hole he was playing. She replied, "I'm on the 7th hole, and you're a hole behind me, so you must be on the 6th hole." He thanked her and went back to his golf. On the back 9, the same thing happened, and he approached the lady again with the same request. She said, "I'm on the 14th. You are a hole behind me, so you must be on the 13th. Once again, he thanked her. He finished his round, went into the clubhouse, and saw the lady sitting at the end of the bar. He went up to her and said, "Let me buy you a drink to show my appreciation for your help." He started a conversation and asked her what kind of work she did. She said she was in sales, and he said he was in sales also. He asked what she sold. She replied, "If I told you, you would only laugh." "No, I wouldn't," he said. She said, "I sell tampons." With that, he fell on the floor laughing so hard. She said, "See, I knew you would laugh. That's not what I'm laughing at," he replied. "I'm a toilet paper salesman, so I'm still one hole behind you." One night, a man prayed, "God, I want to be rich, marry a beautiful woman, and be loved by everyone." The next morning, while walking in the park, a baker stopped him. "Would you like to work with me?" the baker asked. The man scoffed. "No way! I won't make any money with you." Later, he sat on a bench, and a kind woman sat beside him. "How are you?" she asked. "None of your business?" he snapped and walked away. That night, he asked God, "Why haven't you answered my prayers?" In a dream, he saw God, who showed him his past. "When you asked for wealth, I sent you a baker whose business became worth millions. When you asked for love, I sent you a kind woman, but you pushed her away." God smiled and said, "I don't create miracles. I create opportunities. It's up to you to take them." The man woke up, realizing how much he had lost.
Emotional, damn it!
A man dies and goes to hell. Once there, he finds that there is a different hell for each country, so he tries to seek out the least painful one. At the door to German hell, he is told, first they put you in an electric chair for an hour. Then they lay you on a bed of nails for another hour. Then the German devil comes in and whips you for the rest of the day. He does not like the sound of that, so he checks out American hell, Russian hell, and many more. They are all similarly gruesome. However, at Nigerian hell, a long line of people is waiting to get in. Amazed, he asks, "What do they do here?" He is told, "First, they put you in an electric chair for an hour. Then, they lay you on a bed of nails for another hour. Then the Nigerian devil comes in and whips you for the rest of the day." "But that's the same as the others," says the man. "Why are so many people waiting to get in?" "Because of the power cuts, the electric chair does not work. The nails were paid for but never supplied, so the bed is comfortable. And the Nigerian devil used to be a civil servant, so he comes in, signs his timesheet and goes back home for private business."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So this morning, I was in luck and was given 2 cartons of beer. I placed the cartons on the back seat of the motorbike and headed back home. I stopped at a service station where a nice-looking babe in a short skirt was filling up her bike at the next pump. She glanced at the 2 cartons of beer on my bike, bent over and whispered in my ear, and said in a sexy voice, "I'm a big believer in the barter system. Handsome. Would you be interested in trading a BJ for some beer?" I thought for a few seconds and asked, "What kind of beer you got?" So, when I was a kid, adults used to bore me to tears with their tedious diatribes about how hard things were when they were growing up, about walking 25 miles to school every morning, uphill, barefoot both ways, yada yada yada. And I remember promising myself that when I grew up, there was no way in hell I was going to lay a bunch of crap like that on kids about how hard I had it and how easy they've got it. But now that I'm over the ripe old age of 30, I can't help but look around and notice the youth of today. You've got it so easy. I mean, compared to my childhood, you live in a damn utopia. And I hate to say it, but you kids today, you don't know how good you've got it. I mean, when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. If we wanted to know something, we had to go to the damn library and look it up ourselves. In the card catalog, do you even know what that is? There was no email. We had to actually write somebody a letter with a pen. Then you had to walk all the way across the street and put it in the mailbox, and it would take like a week to get there. There were no MP3s or Napsters. You wanted to steal music, you had to hitchhike to the damn record store and shoplift it yourself. Or you had to wait around all day to tape it off the radio, and the DJ would usually talk over the beginning and mess it all up. We didn't have fancy crap like call waiting. If you were on the phone and somebody else called, they got a busy signal. That's it. And we didn't have fancy caller ID either. When the phone rang, you had no idea who it was. It could be your school, your mom, your boss, your bookie, your drug dealer, a collections agent. You just didn't know. You had to pick it up and take your chances, mister. We didn't have any fancy Sony PlayStation video games with high-resolution 3D graphics. We had the Atari 2600. With games like Space Invaders and Asteroids, your character was a little square. You actually had to use your imagination. And there were no multiple levels or screens. It was just one screen forever. And you could never win. The game just kept getting harder and harder and faster until you died. Just like life. You had to use a little book called a TV guide to find out what was on. You were screwed when it came to channel surfing. You had to get off your ass and walk over to the TV to change the channel. And there was no Cartoon Network either. You could only get cartoons on Saturday morning. Do you hear what I'm saying? We had to wait all week for cartoons. You spoiled little rat bastards. And we didn't have microwaves. If we wanted to heat something up, we had to use the stove. Imagine that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You kids today have got it too easy.
Subscribe to Lauren's social media now, or I will weather modify your area so you will have flood for a week or so. Or my name is not Donald Trump.